We talked about Paul Pelosi. Nancy Pelosi's husband got busted for DUI. He's been charged. Turns out that Paul Pelosi has purchased $5 million in semiconductor stock ahead of a Senate vote that would subsidize billions to computer chip manufacturing and semiconductor companies. Are you saying, Larry, that there is a relationship between this bill before Congress and Paul Pelosi buying into semiconductor companies that are going to get these massive amounts of subsidies? Well, Kevin McCarthy is concerned. Leaders of big tech companies asked Congress to pass what's called competitive legislation to financially help companies such as Alphabet, Amazon, Microsoft, and NVIDIA. And Politico reported that Chuck Schumer told senators to expect votes as soon as Tuesday. And according to a financial disclosure report, right on time, Paul Pelosi bought 20,000 shares of a semiconductor company, which means he bought more than $3 million of NVIDIA stock on that day. Now, there's a left-leaning called Public Citizen. Its spokesperson said, and I'm quoting, "It certainly raises a specter that Paul Pelosi could have access to some insider legislative information. You think? This is the reason why there is stock trading app that exclusively monitors Paul's trading activity and then suggests its followers do likewise," end of quote. Remember the gentleman who was upset and getting all these fundraising letters after the reversal of Roe v. Wade? And he suggested that you got all these rich Democrats, call them up. Some of these Democrats, he suggested, were engaging in insider trading. Let's revisit that gentleman.
I'm not going to shut up about this. I'm not, because I can't yell at the Republicans. They're not going to change. They are who they are. We're stuck with them. We're not going to change them. You can't shame them. You can't convince them. You can't trick them. You can't plan them. But I can yell at the Democratic Party, and I can tell them where they can at least make one small change to stop pissing me off every hour right now. Stop sending me fundraising requests right now. Okay? The Republican Party had a plan for the last 50 years to overturn Roe v. Wade. We had a leak 5 weeks ago telling us that this exact thing was going to happen. And your response after 5 weeks of careful study and planning and thought has been to send us nonstop fundraising emails. All right? So let me just read you a quick list. Mark Warner. He's the Democratic senator from Virginia. He's worth $214.1 million. Don Beyer, he's a Democratic Virginia House member. He's worth $124.9 million. Dean Phillips, he's a Minnesota House member. He is worth $123.8 million. Nancy Pelosi, the Speaker of the House of the Democratic Party from California, is worth $114.7 million. Dianne Feinstein, who doesn't know where the she is right now, the senator from California, part of the Democratic Party, is worth $87.9 million. You guys want money? Call your guy. You call him every week to do insider trading. Stop sending me emails. Stop sending me texts. Stop reading poems and singing karaoke. You have power. You have it. You're in those seats. We're the ones who are powerless. Stop pretending you're protesting. If you don't want to do it or it's too hard, retire. You're rich as you don't need to do anything. If I had $114.7 million, Nancy Pelosi, you know what I'd do? First thing, I'd get my husband a driver so he didn't get a DUI. Second thing, you know what I'd do? I'd be on a boat. $114.7 million. And you want to send me a
And he's upset about the reversal of Roe v. Wade and about the failure of Democrats to have planned for the reversal of Roe v. Wade. Speaking of which, Congressman Brian Mast asked a very simple question of his Democrat friends across the aisle. Watch this.
Washington is recognized.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Please yield 1 minute to a leader defending life. Gentleman from Florida, Brian Mast.
Thank you, the gentleman's recognized for 1 minute.
Thank you. As all remarks are supposed to be directed to the chair, Madam Speaker, when is a life a life? Madam Speaker, when is a life a life? I'll open it up to the rest of my colleagues over there. I would wager none of my colleagues on the other side will tell us when life begins. I got a $20 bill here. It's not worth as much as it used to be worth. I'll put it down here on the table. Any one of you or your colleagues wants to speak up and tell us when life begins, it's sitting here for you. Madam Speaker, when is a life a life? When does it begin? That's the most extreme idea to come out of this body, that you won't acknowledge when a life is a life.
The gentleman's time has expired.
Has it expired? I'll leave the $20 bill here, Madam Speaker.
The gentleman's time has expired.
If you want to answer the
gentleman's time has expired. Members are reminded to address their remarks to the chair. The gentleman.
And I'll tell you something else. They won't answer. At what point has a pregnancy gone so far that to abort an unborn child would be a crime, would be murder? During my campaign, I was asked over and over again about my pro-life position, which I proudly have. And I said to these reporters, just one time, please ask my opponent, Gavin Newsom, at what time, what point during pregnancy would he outlaw an abortion? Seconds before birth? What's the answer? Yet they still won't put that question to them. Similarly, Brian Mast, Republican of Florida, asked a very simple question. When does life begin? Silence. Absolute silence. And again, only around 6% of Americans believe late-term abortions should be lawful. Yet, if you look at California, late-term abortions are lawful. And you really think Gavin Newsom, who's okay for California but far too wacky for the rest of the country, would be a suitable standard bearer for the Democratic Party and could win the White House? Now, don't forget, we do a new video every single day. Be sure and smash that like button and hit that subscribe button. We come back. Are they now going to stop calling an AR-15 a weapon of war? According to the Associated Press style book, looks like they're going to now stop calling an AR-15 a weapon of war. Don't go away. Hope you enjoyed that video. The full show is available to watch right now on Epoch TV. Just click the link in the description below to learn more, because we've got a country to save.